Hello y'all, I am back again with part 2 of this video, going into the no contact phase with a sibling in an effort to better my life. That's what it's all about, bettering your own life. Because that's not why any sociopath or narcissist or psychopath is in your life, y'all. That's just not why they're there. They're not making a commitment to be there to better your life. That's not their intention. None of that. So at this point, you got to look out for yourself. So I am going to begin this video explaining this, why other people give the advice that they give, and the place that it's coming from, and why they feel the way they do. And I mean, this is people that you will be venting about this situation. So what happens is this, and I've gone over this in other videos, y'all. Y'all gotta understand passive aggressive language. It's a language that's oftentimes used with people that have what you call a bad temper. So, okay, if you see, when you're a fighter and you are not scared to respond, your siblings know you, you know, and when I say fighter, I mean in self-defense, right? So with this being said, people are cowards by nature, right? So my mama's other daughter, and you got to go and watch the videos, Living a Spiritual Warfare. It's 4 of those. You got to watch each video. I might create a going no contact with your sibling playlist. I may just do that. Matter of fact, that's what I'll do. I'm going to create a going no contact with your sibling so you can follow these videos. I can't repeat everything I just talked about. I just can't do it. It's counterproductive and it's redundant to do it. So with that being said, you got to understand this. You know, you got people, and I talked about this in another video of when your no contact is questioned. So when you're dealing with people that struggle with getting rid of people completely, and they struggle in that area, they really don't comprehend it for real. These are people that most of the time people have gone no contact on them, but they not the type of person that would do it. So like my good friend, she's had relatives and stuff went no contact on her. But to be honest, if they would have still wanted to be around, she would have kept them around because she's good natured. Okay. So it's not to say that people are stupid because they don't go on no contact. They just good natured. They the type of person that give people chances. And I'm going to tell you something. Where that affect, I almost dropped this other device, y'all, that I play the music on. Yes, I'm not the fanciest YouTube channel, but yes, I do use more than one device. I'm recording on this device, and I'm using music with another one, yes. And y'all, I got a speaker. I got a little homestead thing here, you know. So I got my own little thing going. So anyway, so you know, when you tell people about problems or issues, this is the thing. If you're not breaking down crying, if you're not screaming and hollering, if you're not yelling and cussing about what they did, if you're not doing all of this stuff, people don't think it's affecting you. So remember that if you call somebody and, you know, let them know what happened, and you get the advice like this. The advice I was given was, you know, I think your sister needs therapy. I think that would help. I don't think that because I said it like this. I said she's denounced being a sister, basically. You know, and it all began when she asked me with that call, why am I calling her real sis? And I explained in the other video why I call her that. It was something to make her feel special or whatever. But this is the thing, and this is what people don't accept, the passive aggressive language. And I talked about this passive aggressive language in a videos. In my videos, you just watch my last 10 videos, y'all. You're going to get a lot from it. So, okay, for example, when my mama's other daughter, which is technically a biological sister, she when she called me and, you know, out of the blue asked me, why do I call her that? And I explained the reason why, which were good reasons. She had a flat effect in her voice. She had no response. So this is what it is. See, my mama's other daughter, she's not going to, she know me for one. So she's not gonna come at me. She's not gonna come at me aggressive, because I'm gonna shut that down. I'll shut that shit down ASAP. So if she comes at me with aggression, she showed a little aggression in Texas, I shut that down immediately. I had 2 sociopaths in there, a male relative and my mama's other daughter ass. I shut that down. First of all, they in my motel room that my cousin did pay for 2 nights at the motel. However, we were there 7 nights. So there was a donation. My cousin paid for 2 nights, but I paid for the other 5. And by the time my family had came in to stay in the hotel with us, we had already been there 1 night. So basically what I'm trying to say is, when my relatives from St. Louis came to the hotel room with us, with myself and my sons, they on my bill, right? I'm paying for that. So what I'm not gonna do is let an aggressor, sociopath or not, come up in there starting a bunch of shit, and I'm not gonna shut it down. I shut it down. I'm standing over your ass. I'm checking the shit out of you. Because what my sociopathic ass sister did when I was down there, she was telling me to move instead of saying, excuse me. Like, ma'am, I'm not one of your bitches. Okay, it's excuse me. So I shut that shit down. She sat there like a little innocent kid. I shut that shit down. So that's the reason she does more of the passive aggressive shit. Okay. So with that being said, you gotta learn how to read passive aggressive language. And that's why so many people are dead right now. They don't read it right. They get killed. They get shot. They get poisoned. Some of them get strangled in their damn sleep because they don't read passive aggressive language. And they can't read it properly because, for one, they don't use it enough. See, I use it enough to know how to read it. And they haven't been around enough diversity, and they just really don't believe it. They just don't believe. If I'm not calling my good friend and telling her or him that my mama's other daughter wilded out and cussed me out, called me a bunch of bees, if I don't tell her that she's doing all of that, she's not going to see a need. Him or her, whoever I'm confiding in, they're not going to see a need for me to go no contact with my mama's other daughter. Okay, so this is what she was saying. When the woman called me and she asked me, which is my mama's other daughter, when she called me and asked me, why do I call her real sis? And when I told her the good reasons I call her that, and she didn't say good, thank you, that's nice, she had nothing to say. This is what she's saying to me. And you got to learn how to read this language so you can go into the closest form of no contact that you can. And this is what she was saying. When she said nothing back, she's saying, you stupid bitch, I don't look at you like that. The fuck you calling me real sis for? You stupid, retarded ass bitch. I don't like you, bitch. You ain't shit to me, bitch. Fuck you calling me real sis for? I ain't your motherfucking sister, stupid bitch. That's what she's saying. Worst case scenario, she could even be saying this. And this is what she's saying too. You know, I don't give a fuck about you, bitch. I know our relative just died. But bitch, that's more your relative than mine. Fuck you calling me real sis for? I don't call you that, stupid bitch. That's what she's saying. And so, because if I confide in my friend, whomever I'm confiding in, whether it be a woman or a man, because I'm not telling them that she's saying that, they're going to tell you to keep the family bond because they don't understand passive aggressive language and they don't really see the person as that wicked. See, it's this pass we give people that are narcissists and sociopaths or psychopaths. And I'm not going to call her just an outright psychopath like she was born like that because, for one, I'm reading through it. If she had more psychopathy, this shit would go over my head. She would be better at what she does, to be honest. So she's a sociopath. She's not a motherfucking psychopath at all. Yeah, sociopaths, that's under psychopathy, but they're a sociopath. They're not a psychopath. This woman is not Ted Bundy. My mama's other daughter is not Ted Bundy. She would have killed, if she would have killed the fucking cat, they would have caught her ass the first time her ass did it. Versus Ted Bundy would have killed 50 fucking cats before he got caught. So no, she's not a psychopath because I'm reading her ass too well. So this is what she's saying, you know, and this is where she is just not worth it. She's not an aunt. She was a horrible sister to our disabled brother. And I'm in no contact with him pretty much too, y'all. You could judge me, but this will be the second child of my mama's that I will be going into no contact with. My mama's firstborn with the disability, he's fucking evil too, right? And this ain't to say I'm perfect, right? But see, this is one of the gifts that me and my mama had, I think, in a certain way. We were able to look beyond your disability to see who the fuck you really are. See, a lot of y'all fucking going through a lot of shit with disabled relatives. Oh, they retarded. Oh, they this, they that. Nah, the motherfucker's evil. He got more than that fucking physical disability. And it's just best for me. It just removed all responsibility. My disabled brother is not on the street or anything like that. He is in an adult family home. I brought him here on the West Coast when our mom died. My sister ain't did shit for him for real. It took her so many years, and I'm talking about 10, 20 years or however long it was. She just is a shitty, she's a horrible sibling and she's a shitty auntie. She just is. And it's just time to fucking let her ass kick rocks. She ain't about shit. Okay. Why do I call her real sis? See, I got to go back to why do I call her this? I mean, she ain't about shit. Right. I ain't losing no fucking money when I go no contact. Actually, I'm getting rid of a headache. That's what I'm doing. And she's already done enough where I can say I lost feelings. And when you lose feelings, y'all, for people, you don't have a mental problem. See, you having the inability to lose feelings for fucking sociopaths and psychopaths, you got a fucking mental problem. So go to my video about that. I talked about your fucking mental problem. And it's one that they can't diagnose you with. Go to what your mental disorder is. And go to that video. Okay, you really need to click into my last 10 to 15 videos, y'all, so you can understand this, because you're missing out on a lot if you're not watching every video. And you know, there's a lot of benefits of no contact, going into no contact. If there's any abuse victims around her that she's antagonizing or being cruel to, I no longer have to hear it. If she has a roommate and she pushes the fucking roommate down the steps every day, I don't have to put up with that. I don't have to be bottled with that. if my disabled brother, I'll go back to him. I'm not going to be in the responsibility section to be burying anybody. There's a lot of benefits to going no contact, y'all. Um, the burden that these people are burdens, right? They're just a burden to you. They're just not. They're not doing their duties. And this is what I'm gonna point out too. Go back to part 1 of this video where I talked about how the European Americans, when I first started working for the city, the government job, the latter part of 2018, and how they was bringing their nieces and nephews in there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of European Americans that have close-knit families and African Americans or indigenous people that have close-knit families, they would cut contact with their siblings that are not appropriate aunties and uncles to their kids. So with that being said, what I should have done was been cut this woman out of my life when she wasn't a for real auntie. You understand? You should cut your brother out of your life when he's not a for real uncle. He don't take his nieces and nephews nowhere, or she's an auntie. She don't take her nieces and nephews nowhere. Don't pray with them. Don't visit them. Don't come over to see them. Don't babysit the nieces and nephews. When aunts and uncles do this, they already not your sister and brother. And so a lot of people wouldn't have put up with this shit anyway, and probably would tell the aunt or uncle, shit, all you do is call me and talk about I'm not your real brother or sis. You don't do shit for your fucking nieces and nephews. Don't call my phone no more, you unfit aunt or uncle. So this is where it should have really began. But I'm not gonna lie. One of the reasons I kept a relationship or communication with my mama's other daughter is this: I feel sorry for her. And when I say I feel sorry for her, it's not like I'm saying it like I'm so much better. I'm not no better in the human form. I mean, she's an equal human being just like I am. However, I just felt sorry for her. I felt like she deserved better in childhood. I wish it could have been better. I had a lot of regrets about moving out of town. And one of my friends told me that I have what you call survivor's remorse. Like, I'm feeling guilty because I got out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I didn't end up going to prison and stuff like that. I feel like I got out and my mama's other daughter didn't. So one of my friends, before this even happened, had told me 2 or 3 months ago or something like that, that I had what you call survivor's remorse. That's what he told me. And I agreed. I said, oh, I never looked at it like that. However, my sister could have got out of St. Louis, Missouri if she wanted to. We got family, Alabama, Detroit. There's family on the West Coast. St. Louis, you know, there's, and our family does well. I mean, we got even land in Alabama. We got family land. She could get an RV, buy an RV, rent an RV, and pull up on our family land in Alabama. That I did not know when I was homeless, y'all. I did not know that my ancestry had family land in Alabama. I felt real proud, like I was displaced, and I actually have family land that was willed to us. And all I have to be is from that ancestry, from our slave ancestry. The owners, and I hate to say this shit, y'all, what the America calls owners, the slave owners of my ancestors, they didn't have no kids. And they so-called these sick motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck what they left. They still some sick fucks because they own people. I don't give a fuck. When you add ownership to people, you ain't about shit. So these slave owners, these European American slave owners that own 13 of my ancestors, and I looked this up. It's all online, y'all. You know, my cousin gave me the information, and I looked the rest up. It's all right there. They left this land to my relatives, which they should. It's their goddamn land. My relatives slaved and worked for the shit, and I don't know how and why it necessarily happened, but I do know that the slave owners that owned 13 of my ancestors from my grandmother's side, my mom's side, not my dad's side, they didn't have biological children. So I don't know if they just left it to my ancestors that were their slaves because they didn't have nobody to leave it to. So in that case, my ancestors benefited from that because the owners, they were married. It was a married couple, European Americans that were slave owners. They left it to their slaves, which was my ancestors. So we still have that land in Alabama. And yeah, and then as far as those slave owners not having kids, they didn't deserve fucking kids. They own my relatives. So I seriously doubt if they chose not to have kids, God didn't bless them with that. A lot of slave owners weren't blessed with kids. A lot of them just had kids by the slaves because their wives were barren. So that probably happened quite a bit and more than you think because that was their punishment. You don't deserve kids, the Lord said, because you own these nice human beings out here. Fuck no, I'm not giving you kids. So, of course, some slave owners had a bunch of kids. They had a bunch of kids, plus Massa was out there getting pregnant. Massa was out there getting pregnant, getting the other slave women pregnant. And his wife, which was actually called a mistress. So that, you think a mistress is the other woman, the side chick. No, but in slavery, it was massa and mistress. So she was considered a mistress. His wife, the slave master's wife, was actually considered a mistress. So that word mistress stemmed from slave ownership. So it was the slave owner's wife. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, so what I'm saying is stop giving people a pass. Yeah, I moved out of town. Yeah, I did go to prison. But those are choices. It's so easy to get in prison, y'all. I have a lot of compassion for people that have made it through prison and got out. And that's one of the things, like going back to when I said I feel sorry for my sister. I also felt proud. I wanted to show her, good job. You made it out of that. You're a survivor. So my intentions is to be a supportive relative, but that's what she ain't. And this is where this no contact is getting ready to come in. No more passes. No more feeling sorry for this woman. The woman ain't feeling sorry for me, And so a lot of people that will give you the advice regarding the person, because I'm not distraught, because I'm not breaking down crying. And the abuser looks at that too. And my sister, biological sister, my mama's other daughter, when she talks to me, she has no empathy. She's soulless. So she has the inability to really feel my pain. She just doesn't have that ability. And but you know what, y'all? I'm gonna tell you this. Something that I'm an intuition person. When we was down in Texas and she asked me if she could take her nephew with her. My nephew's a teenager. Not my nephew. Her nephew's a teenager, which is my son. I didn't let him go. And one of my questions was, well, where are y'all going? What are you going to get? She said she was going to the store. I said, to get what? And she mentioned cigarettes. And I talked about that addiction in part 2. And my teenager, which is her biological nephew, during the runaway stuff going on last year, he had started doing nicotine, and he's off of that now. And so I'm strict with kids, y'all. Like, if you got an addiction, you do alcohol, cigarettes, whatever drug you do, and you want to take my kid with you, no, you won't be doing that. Not when I know about it. I don't allow my child don't need to see you buy no cigarettes. Even if he didn't have the problem with nicotine. And that's the thing, you know, sociopaths, they don't give a fuck about they nieces and nephews. She didn't, at least she was honest. I'm glad that my mama's other daughter was honest about it, because she's going to get her cigarettes. But me, I wouldn't have even asked to take my child, her child. Say my mama's other daughter had a child that was my niece and nephew. I wouldn't have asked if they could go with me, and I knew I was buying cigarettes or alcohol. That's just the area I'm strict at. So when she told me what she was going to be buying at the store, I told her, I said, no, you know, he just got off nicotine and he's struggling in that area. No, he can't go. But I did tell her that, you know, next time she's welcome to have him go with her, but you just got to go take him to do kid stuff. He's a teenager. Take him to the zoo, the family fun center. Take him to eat at McDonald's to get an ice cream. Take him on a walk. Take him to the fair. Take him to the mall. Take him to the movies. There's a lot of places to take your nephew other than, and if in your case, if it's a niece, there's a lot of these places a girl could go to. There's a lot of places to take her nephew other than to go to the store and buy some damn cigarettes. So basically, it's just a bad energy. I mean, she came to Texas, just freeload her. I mean, I gave my cousin $100. My cousin paid for her to come there. She paid all the gas money. My mama's other daughter, other friend, paid for her to get on the airplane going back to St. Louis. I gave my cousin $100, you know, for her contribution. She took me around everywhere every day I was in Texas. And I appreciate my cousin for that. I wish I could have gave her more, because my cousin did do a kind deed. She brought my mama's other daughter to Texas, but she didn't take that motherfucker back. She didn't take her back to St. Louis. And, you know, my cousin was sick and tired and stuff like that, but she didn't take her back. She didn't. So, you know, if I'm thinking, well, I want to give her credit for coming out to the relative funeral. No, because she ain't pay for shit. Stop giving sociopaths credit. She ain't pay for shit. Me and my sons get credit for going, because we actually came into the game with $2,000, and then we had a few donations. We never asked these particular people for a donation, because a couple of people started donating, or a few people donated. I put some on Facebook asking for a donation. Nobody donated through that way. Everybody that donated was through my actual phone. They were actually people that talked to me. You know how you have Facebook friends that you don't really talk to. Your Facebook friends don't necessarily have your actual phone number. So that's part of the process too, of going more towards a no contact. And in cases like this, you're just stopping the abuse. You're stopping the humiliation. When you have a biological link to somebody, and the person asking you, why do you call me? Why do you call me real brother? Why do you call me real sis? You're stopping this whole humiliation game. And then, you know, you let them go to their demise. I mean, you are, I can't make her happy, right? I can't make my mama's other daughter happy. It's just crazy, because the people that have died in her life, I was always supportive. You know, I wasn't, when she was grieving because of one of her friends died or something. She has had several friends that have died. And I always was there's a listening ear and stuff like that. I wasn't saying this type of bullshit to her. Why you calling me sister? When she's grieving and somebody died, I would never say that to her, because I have empathy. It's just common fucking sense. you know, how to talk to people when they're actually grieving. But just be careful when people are encouraging you, especially when you mention. I mentioned to my friend that I'm considering just going into more of a no contact. I just don't want to deal with this woman no more. So when you mention no contact and it's discouraged, no, I don't think people that really they want you intentionally going through it, but it's because of what I said. They don't understand the severity of passive aggressive language. So I told you in this video what that person's really saying. And if you will get more of that, it's just like, okay, I'm going to give you another example for women and men. I'm going to use the male narcissist first. When that male narcissist is got these different supply pieces, he's fucking these different women and he got them on a rotation. Thank the Lord I'm not in that situation. Okay? But have I been in that situation? Yes, because narcissists are not always going to tell you that they got 3 or 4 other women. They like, oh, you the only one. So you don't know that you're necessarily in a rotation. But once you kind of know that you're in a rotation or you suspect something, when a narcissist come up in women's houses, whether they have kids or not have kids, you know, what that narcissist is saying is, bitch, you're not worth shit to me. You just a fucking piece of ass and pussy, and you're a concubine. You're no different than a slave, bitch. That's what the male narcissist is saying. Now, on the other hand, if it's a female narcissist doing it to a man, because they can do the same shit. They can come in a man's life and be throwing the pussy at him. But what she's really saying is this. When a female narcissist, she just uses a man for sex. And that's it. He's actually a pretty decent guy. He's really a man that should be married. Decent job, car, has a place. Spiritual man. When a female narcissist does that to him, what she's saying to him is, you no different than a dick that I buy at the sex store. And I'm here to slow your life down, leader. Because as a man, you got all the leadership skills, but I'm here to keep you away from those good women. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as you keep taking this pussy. That's what the female narcissist is saying. Viewer discretion advised, y'all. Okay, that's what the female narcissist is saying to that good man, because he really should have a wife. He's a leader and he needs a wife. He needs a family. And also those type of female narcissists, a lot of times they won't give him kids. So she's giving him pussy, but he wants freaking babies. He wants a family. And she's holding him up from his family. And going back to the male narcissist using the female for sex, the female empath for sex, he's holding her life up too. But basically saying this too. I'm just treating you like a hoe, bitch. You ain't really a hoe, but you keep giving up the pussy, so that's how I'm going to treat you. So that's the passive aggressive language. All of that, calling you, hey, baby, how you doing? Can I come over? All of that nice stuff they saying, this is what they really saying. And you got to start understanding it like that, because if you don't, you'll never be able to go into no contact. Now, there's another language that they use, like my ex-narcissistic man. He don't come to my house and none of that. So he has a different thing that he's saying. Shoot, she might get somebody. He'll feel jealousy because he can't come over. He'll say, that's not a stupid bitch. And I'm not in his rotation. Like I told you, that's one of my little lab rats that I'll use to communicate with for videos. But outside of that, I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't entertain him because I know passive aggressive language. And actually, I'll explain this too. I've never regretted going into no contact with anybody. I've never regretted it. I'm not here. I'm telling you how I'm getting ready to pull this one off. In the beginning stage, this is how I'm going to do it. Okay. I've lost the feelings. Um, she's not looking at me as a sister. I'm going to stop looking at her that way. She's not my responsibility. I got to stop just reaching out, trying to help, give advice or whatever I'm trying to give. Whatever go down with her, that go down with her. Her destiny is her destiny. I don't give a fuck about it. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Because that's how the sociopath look at me. Been looking at me like that. Been looking at me like that. So you just got to move on and open that space, and you teach people how to treat you. So, like I said, you'll be judged for it, but nobody's living your life but you. I mean, at the end of the day, the friend that may recommend, okay, well, I think your mama's other daughter has a problem. She's not recognizing the severity of it. You got to remember, a lot of people don't recognize the severity of what you're going through. And they just, because like I'm on this video, so they might hear my videos and be like, see, they think you can handle it, but I can't. Look, if I really could handle it, for real, if I really was capable of staying in no contact or staying in contact, I apologize. If I was really able to handle with staying in contact with my mama's other daughter and putting up with that antisocial personality disorder, which is a sociopathy, that's what they call it in psychiatry. If I was really able to put up with that, this is a sign that I can't handle it, y'all, is I'm doing this video. You understand? So if I really was capable of handling it, I don't need to get on here and be breaking down crying to not handle it. It's not just that I can't handle it. This is the key. It's something that I should not be handling. I should not be handling the behavior. I shouldn't even be around to be devalued. She should be telling people, this type of sociopath, she should be telling people that she hasn't talked to me in about 4 or 5 years. That's the only thing she should be able to say. That, like, I haven't heard from her. She lives out of town and stuff like that. That's it. So it's not something you should be handling. I am experiencing what you call freedom, y'all. And that's another thing, because I won't go more into a no contact. I'm not experiencing the real freedom. I mean, I live out of town. Why am I taking this woman's calls? Why is this sociopath on the phone with me? Why? It's so, when I'm actually free, I just got to complete the freedom. It's no reason at this point, this woman ain't no auntie to my children. She doesn't contact us. She gets more of the benefits than we actually do. Like things like this. Every year, I won't miss her birthday. I'm going to call, Facebook, I'm going to do something. When she told me not to even call her by her first name, she experienced the benefit because I remained on that phone with her 2 more hours and listened to her work relations and the drama and the crisis that she's going through at her job. So see, she's receiving the benefits. She can call me at any time, and if I'm woke, I'll answer, even if it's midnight. She's getting the benefits. I'm not getting none. I'm getting hell. Being blood related to her is hell. And if you don't accept that you in hell, it ain't no way that it's heaven. It's not heaven. And the reason it ain't heaven is because you dealing with somebody that will be entering hell with their cigarettes too. Okay. The gate into heaven It's narrow, y'all. That part of the Bible is true. All I'm going to hell with they liquor, they cigarettes, with they new men and women, with all their money. That's why it feels like hell. That's why it doesn't feel heavenly. That's why it doesn't feel peaceful. You're dealing with somebody that don't even pray. You really, let me tell you this about sociopaths too. They're borderline unbelievers. Yeah, they say it's a God. They say it's a heaven and hell and all of that. But they really not believers. They not praying. That's why it's hell. Like the one friend I do confide in sometimes, it's not hell with her because she prays. She has a spiritual life. But you're dealing with people that don't pray. I don't know when the last time this woman prayed. Or look, and I'm going to tell you something about people that I promise you. And I want you to start looking at things like this. And don't say this. Well, you don't know if people pray or not. Shoot, they could be praying right now. You don't know that. Yes, the fuck I do. People that are praying, they recognize basic things. They're able to bond. They not threatening people's life that ain't threatening them. They're peaceful at funerals. Peace. Like when I went to Texas, my relative, if that man was really praying like me, he would have been calm. He wouldn't have been calling me retarded and crazy. And that man ain't prayed. That man's a fucking drunk. Okay? That's another sign. People that pray on a regular, they get off of drugs and alcohol. That's what gets them off. People that's cussing you out when you're not aggressive with them and stuff like that, they on them cigarettes. Nicotine, y'all, putting that shit in your body a bunch of years and stuff like that. Nicotine been in my mama's other daughter body probably since teenagehood. That's a long time that shit been in her body. Let me tell you something. It causes brain damage too. A lot of sociopaths smoke fucking cigarettes. Think about all the sociopaths that's been in your life and connected to cigarettes. And they do a lot of alcohol and marijuana too. They self-medicating because they don't have the relationship with the Lord that we do. They don't have the conscience that we do. They don't have the remorse that we do. And ultimately, I've never regretted going into no contact. It ain't one person that I went in a no contact with that I ever regretted. It was for my best interest. It was always, every single time. If they was meant to be in your life and you're prayed up and in prayer consistently, and when I say consistently, I don't mean you necessarily doing 5 to 10 prayers a day. Or you consistent, okay? Or what's your routine? Did you at least do 11 prayers this week? Did you do 5? Maybe you prayed just once a day. And during prayer, you should always one of the best parts of prayer is I think, and nothing against any other religion, but I think that if this is not in your prayer, in your religion, deliver me from the evil one, I think that's an excellent thing to bring out of what you call the Lord's Prayer to implement in your religion. Deliver me from the evil one. And the Lord has consistently done that for me. And implement that in your prayers. Add it to your prayers or whatever. You can add whatever you want to your prayers. As long as it's good, y'all. The Lord don't mind. Stop thinking that every prayer that you pray has to be something that some other man or woman made up. You talk to God and you pray. And you add the pieces in prayer that will be beneficial to you, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I got so much more coming. Please start checking the description because I'm going to be putting more links in my description below. And I love y'all so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and by the way, if you got a good sister or brother in your life, don't let them go, y'all. Thank you. Bye.